Okay, this will be my critique of a scene in the movie called Restorative Justice. I'm not that good at speaking English, but I hope you understood it. Yeah, by Ronnie Fordham. He's writing horror movies. Now, I really like the first 9 pages. I think they are excellent, they're great. They combine a lot of stories together, a lot of characters interact together, and then something happens. And that's really fantastic to do in a movie. It reminds me a bit of Die Hard, like the different characters interact and something is happening between them, something greater. And this is also how accidents actually happen. This is an accident, he kills a boy. So this actually a great illustration of how accidents happen. For example, if you have a plane accident or some other kind of big scale accident, it's nearly always like 5, 7, 8, 9 things going wrong at the same time, and like 4 really big things going wrong at the same time. It's seldom one thing. It's always, not always, but nearly all the time, it's several things going wrong at the same time. So for me, that's this scene is really good because it also conveys this it tells the story of how these accidents actually happen. That's great. Of course, in a traffic accident, one mistake could cause someone to die, but it is what it is. And it's hard for us to understand these big accidents because we often need to find a cause for it. So in this script, Sean is blaming himself. That's something I will explain later. But he's blaming himself for the death of the child, and we actually saw a lot of things going wrong at the same time. But we also saw him doing several mistakes at the same time. He drove too fast, and he was messing his girlfriend dick pics. So we are also blaming him, and we are not totally wanting him to escape this punishment. We want him to get punished somehow. So in this horror movie, if he is the victim, and he is actually the victim, we won't only want him to escape. We would kind of want him to be punished a lot for what he did, because he was an idiot. He was texting and driving, he killed a kid, and he was also speeding. So we really dislike him, and if something happens to him, we will kind of feel a bit good about it. So let's see, now we are in Sean's house, and this is after the accident. So what happens here? Now, this is how I could have done the scene, or how anyone could have done the scene. Sean is sitting alone in his room, and it's really dark. All the curtains are pulled. Yeah, all the curtains are keeping the sun out, and Sean is drinking a wine. His back is curved, and he is feeling really sad. He's also a bit drunk, so he's like moving from side to side like a drunk guy. And then he receives a message, and he doesn't want to respond to that message. That's already conveying a ton of information to us by the visual medium. And all of this happens in 10, maybe 20 seconds. But here we're using several minutes on conveying information. Now let's see. First, this is Kate and his sister. They are not answering. So this is important for us to know, that the parents are not answering, but it could have been done in other ways. They don't necessarily have to talk about it, because, for example, we could see Sean try to call his mother or father in this dark room, and then they're not picking up. He looks at his phone, and we can see that he has tried to call them 9 times in the last 3 days, or something like that. So a lot of this information could be conveyed in other ways, and then we have time and place and room to let them talk about something really interesting and really great, and something that could progress the script by other means or make it deeper. Like they could talk about him being captured in his own mind because he killed this kid, because later he gets captured in the script. It could really make the script deeper. Now they're talking about the parents not Okay, not answering. Okay, now he's saying don't worry about it. We like it. We like proactive characters. We like characters that change something. And this is what needs to happen in all movies. The characters need to be proactive. They need to change something. Something needs to happen because some guy or some girl somewhere in the movie is creating something. So we don't like too much stuff just randomly happening. It needs to be progressed. We need to see the characters interact with each other and then create stuff because of who they are. Okay, now this is red. Why? Because he's complaining. Now we see him complaining. We see him being sad. This is something we see the actor is. So we see the actor is sad. We don't need to hear about it. But he could just say it. Okay, I'm sad. This is basically what he's saying. Hey, I'm super sad. I feel bad. Okay, this is what we hear because this is how we see. Perceive movies. It's a visual medium, but it also explains why the parents do not contact him. So we kind of get this information, but we don't necessarily need it because he cannot contact his parents. That's enough information for us to know that this is what's going on, and then we can put 2 and 2 together. So this okay, now she's trying to help him, and she will do it over and over and over again, but I can only mark in one color. But yeah, she's doing it here. She's helping him. Okay, now he's really sad about the police coming after him. He will go to prison. Okay, she's trying to help him. Now the town is after him. This is actually good in a horror movie because it's create a setting, and we really need to create a setting in a horror movie. We need to create an atmosphere. That's important in a horror movie, also important in thrillers and stuff like that. But usually you would spend each page on progressing the plot. In a horror movie it can work in a bit different way because in some horror movies there's not that much plot and a lot of setting, a lot of atmosphere. That's something you need to choose, but we need to have a plot, and the plot needs to progress in some way on every single page, even if it's just slightly. So it still needs to happen, even if we focus on the atmosphere. Okay, he's complaining again. He's complaining again. She's helping him, of course, all the time. Complaining, helping, complaining, helping. So it's the same thing that's happening again and again. Okay, again she's helping him. He's complaining. Now he's still complaining. I don't know if I should take your advice. Okay. Complaining again. No, I don't want to listen to you. She's helping him again. I wish I could mark several colors because she's repeating herself too. We see her emotion. Hey, you're my brother, okay? And you'll always be, I love you. So this one line kind of explains all of the stuff that's going on here. She's trying to help him. She could just pat him on the back while he's drinking some wine and feeling sad about the situation. Just that 5-second scene would already convey all of this. Okay, helping him again. Of course, I'm not saying that all this information is useless. That's not what I'm saying at all, because the writer included it because he thought it was necessary to tell his story. So there's some plot elements here that the writer feels are needed in the movie for us to understand the movie and understand what's going on. Yeah, he's complaining again. He's complaining again, but him complaining over and over and over and over and over again, it could be too much because it's not adding anything to the plot. It's adding something to. Okay, he's complaining a bit, but it's not that much actually. Just do me a favor, visit me in prison. So, is it complaining? He's kind of still negative, but it's not complaining that much anymore. We see some progression of his thoughts. We see some character development, and character development could actually be shown on a page. character development could be, we could have 2-3 minutes of just character development in the movie. That wouldn't be a waste of time. But probably 1 minute character development would be better. And still, we need some plot elements in that character development too. I don't know, complaining. Okay, he's not contacting his girlfriend. So he's sitting in a room, he's drinking his wine. His girlfriend messages him, his phone vibrates, we see it light up. A lot of light from the phone because it vibrates and SMS. He looks at the message and it's his girlfriend contacting him. He doesn't want to respond. That's something we can do in a visual medium. They don't need to talk about it, because if we see them just talking about it, it becomes a bit boring. And I can't, again, he's negative. She's helping him. Shit, he's negative, not, yeah, he's still complaining. This is the message he gets. Sean, please talk to me. This is his girlfriend, Diana, texting him, right? We see this. So why did they talk about it if we see it happening here? And the author clearly, he added the wine, right? Sean is drunk. We see it. Oh, no, my mouse. The author clearly explains to us that Sean is drunk and he is feeling sad about the situation. So that and the SMS actually explains everything to us. And then of course we need the parent stuff too, because it's part of the plot. But let's see how much he complains actually. Red. So he complains quite a bit here. And sometimes in a movie you need to know what you want to spend the time on. So in a horror movie, of course, need to build this tension, you need to build the atmosphere. But you also need to be direct and always progress the plot. And here we see two people, a brother and a sister, talk about other people. That's what we do, because that's what we have language for. We talk about other people. We communicate about cheaters, who's trying to hurt us, who's trying to cheat us, and who can we cooperate with. That's what we have language for. We try to progress. We try to get resources, and we try to not get cheated or killed. Okay, so this is easier to survive in a social environment when you can communicate directly. He's a cheater. Don't trust him. This guy is good. He helped him. He helped me. You have to help him. Then we can cooperate, and then we'll both be better off. But in a visual medium, we can also see it on screen in some way. We could see them talk to, not to the parents because they're not contacting them, but we could see something happen on screen, some pictures, some SMS, some calls going in and out. So all this could be conveyed in a much shorter way. So for me, it will be. Let's see. It starts on. Oh, sorry for scrolling a lot. It starts on page 21, and one page is 1 minute. Okay, it starts here. Now this is complaining. 22, 23, 24, 25. That's 4 minutes, right? Okay. And then a bit more stuff happens here. But it's basically 4 or 5 minutes of them communicating very, very little to each other. And what I would have wanted them to do is doing something else, and then maybe communicating all this stuff to us by other means. They could watch a football game and then use football analogies to talk about this stuff. They could play a board game or something, or just do something else. Because when it's too direct, then it feels like we're not receiving enough information. Something else could be going on, because we already know about this. We know he feels bad. It's easy to understand for us because he just killed a kid, right? So of course he feels bad. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's a scene that doesn't completely work for me, and compared to the first 9 pages, this this doesn't work as well for me. And then of course the story is not really to my liking, because it's too much for me. It's not really my genre, but still, yeah, that was it.